Hello, Governor. I'm just going to talk in this video, and hopefully there's a message for someone in there or someone that can relate and learn and grow from what I'm freaking going through. So this morning I have gave myself a goal to wake up at 7 every single morning. Every single morning. Because I had ChatGPT make me a schedule of what my day should look like to get to the goals that I want to get to. And as you can imagine, I have very big goals, and ChatGPT rolled out every single hour what I should be doing. And it was a little daunting, but I had done it for one day, and I was like, wow, this is great. Like, I was super productive. Like, I recorded an entire song in a couple hours and got content out. Like, wow. But it's not really realistic. Life has unforeseeable changes that I have to adjust to. And adjusting to those changes and adjusting my schedule has made me want to, or made me refocus on the entire fact that I do not want to contribute to hustle culture, and I do not want to dedicate every hour of my day to working. I have goals, they're accomplishable, but I also have a life, and I also have an emotional and mental well-being. And while ChatGPT scheduled all that for me in a day, being something that I still do because it's actually a pretty good schedule, realistically, I just feel like, why is it so normalized to have to work so hard? I feel like the things that come easy, of course, aren't worth having. But I also feel like it is a conditioned narrative, or at least in America, that you have to work hard to get your goals. You have to work hard to get to where you want to be. And I don't really want to subscribe to that belief system anymore, because if we just look at this simulation that we're in, plain and simple, what you believe will be. If you believe you have to work hard to reap maybe any reward, that's what your life is going to be. And I subscribe to the narrative that what I want comes to me with ease. I don't want to feel like I'm working hard and swimming against the grain or fighting against the grain to get to where I want to go. Wouldn't that mean that it's not meant for me? Think about that. Who says? Who says you have to work hard? Who says? I have not once heard God themselves tell me that I need to shed blood, sweat, and tears to get any goal. Now, what I have heard God say is that the journey will be rocky, things will happen, but the journey is how you can flow with those changes and flow with life. So, is that the same thing? Perspective wise, language wise, they're very different. And I want to ask, like, have any of you personally felt like you have to work hard to get to where you need to go? Or do you feel like you have to flow to get to where you want to go? It's contradictory to me. Part of me is fighting that it's the same thing, and that could be my ego talking. I've definitely been listening to, or I don't want to say listening to because I don't want to give it that much credit or manifest me actually starting to believe my ego. But I've been hearing my ego a lot today. My ego did not want me to make this video today. My ego did not want to get out of bed today. My ego wanted to sleep all day like my ego has been doing for the last year. But I want to make changes because I want to get to a different place, a different outcome, get to where I want to go, and I'm flowing and navigating these changes and these bumps and hiccups in the road. You know, I don't want to say the way I look at it is kind of like life is like a hike. And you can get to the path on the hike where it's, big rock path or a pebble path, and one wrong step your ankle might might fold. But is that hard work? It might make the next steps a little challenging, but I don't think it's hard work. I just really wish that we were more careful with our language. I feel like language is really important, and I had uploaded a YouTube short and a TikTok video on this a couple days ago, that I feel like if hate is the exact opposite of love, why do people say that hate is such a strong word that shouldn't be used but not love? I feel like love is more accepted, and people want people want love for themselves, but of course not hate. I trust in my intuition to guide me. That's an affirmation that just popped up. So repeat it if you would like. But kind of lost my point. Either way, I feel like language, or the language that we use, is really important, because using the wrong language opens up a lot of misunderstanding and miscommunication. And I feel like with the world that we live in now, there's a very certain set of people who profit off of us misunderstanding and miscommunicating some things. I'm not saying go pick up a dictionary, but maybe think about what sentence you're about to say. Maybe think about the intention of every word that you're going to use. Now, that would require a bit of consciousness and a consciousness awareness that some people aren't ready to have yet. It's not the easiest thing, having to monitor every single thing that you say. Some people say, oh, I don't want to walk on eggshells, so I have to walk on eggshells when I have to talk around you or whatever. And it's not that, and at least I don't believe it's that, but I think that's just people making excuses to stay where they're at and stay how and who they are. And I guess my whole point in all of this is just be intentional. Be intentional. And always, always, always pay attention to intention. Ooh, pay attention to intention. Because when I was throwing my little hissy fit, my little tantrum earlier this morning, where I was like, I don't want to exercise, I don't want to do anything, I don't want to get out of bed. What's my intention behind that? To soothe, to feel better. But how would I soothe and feel better by not doing the things that I know soothe and make me feel better? Who and where is that coming from? My ego. The old version of me that didn't have the tools to make different choices and have different outcomes. And thus, my ego was fighting me to stay where it was at and not be a different person, because it doesn't know that. And what it doesn't know is scary. Well, I think looking at the future it can be uncertain and scary. But that's why everyone always says, like, focus on the present and focus on the tools that you have now. Trust what you have now. Because when you're thinking about the now and where you're at, your intentions, your mind state, your tools, it makes the future a whole lot easier. And I feel like I kind of contradicted myself a little bit there, saying focus on the present to focus on the future. But I think it's just that simple, because right now is the only moment that truly exists. But I just wanted to sit and talk to you guys for 10 minutes. So that's my thoughts and everything for 10 minutes. Thank you for listening. If you're listening, thank you for being here. If you've made it this far, I appreciate you so much. And I'm going to end my videos and my lives, but this is not live. I'm going to end my videos the way I always end my videos. And that is, everything that glitters is not gold. Unless it's me. Okay. All right. Peace out, y'all.